We are live on YouTube, I believe. We're preparing a live stream.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
And hit the
And
key music, John. If you'd be so kind. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
hold, let it roll out, let it roll out.
And John, give me a cue when you are ready.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna let it shine. All right, we're live on YouTube.
Yes, we are. John, are you ready for me? Hello, everybody who might be watching. This is the F Everything Show. We are going to go live in just a couple of seconds. Mr. Regoris is behind the wheels, getting us all connected on Facebook and all those other places.
Alrighty, we are live and direct.
We are live and direct, all right? And hello, everybody. Welcome to everybody on Facebook, to everybody on YouTube, and to everybody listening on WBLC Radio. I am Jim Andrinos, and welcome, welcome to the echo that we're hearing.
I was gonna say, hear a little bit of an echo.
That was me by mistake. Sorry.
It happens, but welcome to the Everything Show. I just want to introduce you to this unsavory cast of characters, if you don't mind. And first of all, the person who named the damn show, Mr. Michael Langan, you're here. Hey, Mike, what's up? And half his hand is missing.
I hate everything.
He hates everything. Half his hand was missing because he's trying to use green screen and not because he was in a horrible nuclear accident. John G. in the house.
What up?
How you doing, Reverend? You doing good today?
The Reverend John Jameson is here.
All right. And
doing good.
John Regoris also in the house.
What up, what up? It's AKA Jay Riggs. Jay Riggs
Woo!
for the F Everything Show. What up?
Are you really going with that?
Hey, look, man, if you could see the stream going out to Facebook, you'd see that you are Jim, I am Jay Riggs, Mike is Mike, and John G is John G.
Wow.
I see that. Looks good.
Jay
Looks
Riggs.
good.
Jay Riggs.
Jay
Normally,
Riggs.
I would have had each of us covering one of those red squares, Mike, and then we would have been our own individual floating boxes, and I would have moved the names. And then the center box I have reserved for our guests. Which, we do have a few guests.
We have 3 guests coming in today. We got 3. They're coming in one at a time, though. One at a time to talk some shit with us. But it's been a lovely week. It's been a productive week since I last saw you, gentlemen. It's been an 8-day week since I last saw you, gentlemen. Apparently, we're not keeping any schedule. We're just going to record this whenever the hell we want to. Kind of take it over the airwaves guerrilla style. 8 days a week. Oh, Mike must be incredibly loopy and be singing Beatles songs. There you go. Oh, and we lost Jay Riggs, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and he's in shorts.
And he's naked.
You don't want to see him in shorts, do you? You never want to see that man in shorts. But John G looks like he's going over the books in the corner.
I'm just kind of like doing my thing.
You doing anything?
I'm doing my thing.
Writing a sermon.
I gotta admit, of all of us, John G's the person that I worry about the most because in quarantine, you were going through this quarantine and you were by yourself. Well, you know, Benny does show up every once in a while, but you're mostly by yourself and eating a lot of your own cooking. And there was a little office pool at the start of this as to what would eventually kill John G. Would it be the coronavirus or would it be his own cooking? And I'll tell you this, John, most of us bet on your own cooking.
I would bet on my own cooking too.
Yeah.
John lost a lot of weight due to his own cooking.
Yeah,
Because of my own freaking cooking.
He did, and I have just the opposite problem.
I exactly have the exact opposite effect.
Jesse is home and cooking for me, so I'm eating, nothing but Dominican food, like, every day, multiple times a day. Like I woke up this morning and there was breakfast waiting for me. And I'm there like, I want a pandemic all the time. I want a daily pandemic. I could get used to this. You know, if only, you know, we could go back to work. You know, John's not used to it. You don't want this at all?
No, I'm done with this shit.
Are you done with it? It's going to be interesting to see what the world looks like post-pandemic.
You think?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think people are going to get huggy? Do you think people are going to get more distant? Because I'll tell you this, the last few days since Monday, I've been out and about, and, you know, when I have to wander downtown for shopping or something, or I'm picking an item up, most people, with the exception of just putting a mask on, and they put it on half-assed. Like it's hanging off of one ear, it's covering the mouth.
They're trying to protect their fucking chin more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a chin bra at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm not seeing people have pretty much stopped socially distancing. People have pretty much, you know, stopped, you know, trying to do things. There are places that are open now that I'm looking at, like, you're not supposed to be open. Like, there's a magic shop in the town I'm in that's open. As far as I know, magic is not an essential business. That should not be open. Nobody,
Unless you want to disappear.
Yeah, nobody needs, like, flash paper that much. But they're wide open, and there were people meandering the store. So, you know, I'm wondering if we've learned anything from this pandemic, or is it just a giant way to shrink the economy by 2/3 and plunge more of us into poverty?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thoughts?
I think I'm more concerned also about the behavior of people with the pandemic. You know what I mean? You see people a lot more really on edge kind of thing. So,
They're
to me,
making Mazatol cocktails and throwing them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I think Mike's alluding to the shenanigans up in Minneapolis. And there's a lot of shenanigans in Minneapolis, and everyone is shenaniganing. Is that the word, shenaniganing? Oh, man.
I could hear myself from saying things I said a minute ago.
On the Facebook page, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta mute everything.
No. On the Facebook page, Thump was in the chat, and he says he only hears John.
He only hears John on the Facebook pages.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
I was
Just
trying
saying
to
you're
see if I
talking
could
too
hear
much,
John,
Joe.
too.
Yeah.
while you're trying to fix that, we will keep babbling out.
Sure.
All right. So is that
Scary
the same
shit.
name? Is it still just John Regoris? Here's the thing about new technology. We got to figure it out. And I would just like to say, for the second week in a row, with new technology, if you listen to us on YouTube, you hear all of us. And I got that YouTube feed going. So if you guys are having a hard time with us on Facebook, go visit us on YouTube. Although it's not going to work unless John Regoris says it, apparently.
Is it working now?
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna go over to the page real quick.
It's probably going to be at least a 20-second delay.
Yeah. And hopefully we will fix all of these things up.
I see Jim talking. I don't hear him.
Okay, yeah, just keep letting it play, and then eventually I won't talk, and you guys keep talking until we hear you guys.
I will keep talking, but I don't think that we're going to get there. And so what I'll do is I'll just kind of wave my hand. So this is the marker that we should be hearing me by. If we're not hearing me by the time my hand waves, Mike, you know that we're not doing sound. Just so you guys all understand this is how high tech we are. We are broadcasting.
We're gonna wave and.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah, the wave was there and still. Now did the wave play? There's Thump. All
I'm
right.
just telling us.
Thump
Somebody
is-
read the chat.
All right, so John Regoris
There's four
has
of
to
us.
read the chat. I'm nowhere near the chat because
The best part is if you read it, is like, only hear your rigs, you rigs, everyone else is muted on the stream. And then you need to fix the audio. Jim over there is just talking, nobody can hear him. Somebody read the chat.
Oh, is the audio fixed now?
Sure.
All right. Here's what we have. Mike has abandoned the show. John G, you're muted.
Sorry, I had to take a phone call.
No problem.
Oh my God! What a great show.
Yeah,
What a great show.
we're 10 minutes in, and this
And Robert's
is...
gonna show up. No one's gonna hear Robert.
Nobody's gonna hear
Well,
Robert.
everyone can hear him. Everyone can hear him on YouTube.
On YouTube, we're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube we're perfectly fine. So, John, if you need to, we can.
Yeah, I think I know. I might know what it is.
All right, there we go. John is trying to fix it, and while he's trying to fix it, we will keep talking to the people that are there. We had such
Start
a
doing Instagram Live. Instagram
Yeah,
Live
right.
is doing meeting rooms. So
Are
we
they
can do
really?
all the boxes and shit. Yeah.
We need to figure out how to do that. I do want to talk a little bit about this because we're gonna have a guest coming on in 10 minutes because there is a festival that's running, and I actually wanted to give kudos to one Mr. Michael Langan for the unbelievable job you did with Mr. Beasley Presents.
Amen.
I just watched the back and I fucking hate it.
Really?
Yeah, I just hate every little thing. I'm like, there it is. There's that. There's this.
Are you seeing other cuts that you want to make? Different cuts?
It's like this is the only cut I could make, and here it is.
Ah, well, no,
Fucking
there's
4K.
other cuts you could make. You know.
No, it's like, oh well, then here's the tape of the screen, and the screen didn't disappear. And here's this, and here like just so many little.
Little errors.
Yeah, just what we could do with what we had. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good. You know, like I'm just gonna overlook everything. You know.
Well, you know, that's kind of the way this works. You gotta overlook it. When you're talking filmmaking, can we not forget there was a gas canister at a chariot race in the middle of the movie Gladiator? Or,
Yeah.
you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, there's a guy in jeans and a cowboy hat standing on the bow of the ship.
You
Mistakes
see a fucking
happen.
cameraman in Harry Potter.
Yeah, you absolutely see a cameraman in Harry Potter. And can we? All right, Mike, you and I are gonna geek out for a second. Can we? Because 14-year-old in the house, watched Harry Potter again, because that's what you do when there's a pandemic and 14-year-old in the house.
Or 29-year-old.
Yeah, Luna Lovegood, Lovegood, Luna Lovegood. Why? Well, first of all, that is a name that is a great piece of trivia question. You can ask people, is that a character from Harry Potter or James Bond? Because it could be a woman in James Bond, too. You know, my name's Luna Lovegood. You know, and you can see James Bond
No, I
backing on
poison
that.
your drink.
Yeah. But why is she not the biggest star from the Harry Potter people? Because she
I don't
was
know.
unbelievable. She's probably the best actress in that group.
And she's more involved in the book.
Yeah. What were you going to say, John?
Who was this?
The young lady that played Luna Lovegood. There's a character in Harry Potter named Luna Lovegood, who I think Harry should have hooked up with. Harry should totally, you know.
He had that Asian fever.
Yeah, he
Did
did,
you,
but he should totally bone that character.
Did you like get HBO Max or something like that?
I did not. I have a child who has DVDs and watches it.
The whole box set.
Because that was a big thing with HBO Max this week.
That they had all the Harry Potter movies.
All the Harry Potter movies.
Oh God.
Freeform, that used to be ABC Family. Literally, like every 3 weeks, there's a marathon of them.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah. Well, here's the reason they have the rights. They're gonna exploit them as much as they can.
Like, we could put commercials in all of this?
Yeah. And you know, Harry Potter's one of those things where people will be 90 and they will tune in. And they will absolutely watch it. So
Now, if anything could be real, would it be Star Wars or would it be Harry Potter?
oh, for
if
me,
they
I
were
want
real-
Star Wars to be real. I definitely want Star Wars to be real. Are you kidding me? Because I would so steal the Millennium Falcon. I would so take it for a joyride.
I just think the Star Wars universe is just much bigger and cooler to be in.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter. I've never seen or read a book or seen a movie.
You've never seen one Harry Potter? Nothing?
Nah.
By
I
the
don't
way,
know.
did you fix Facebook?
Yeah, Thumb said we are hearing you.
Oh, beautiful.
I believe it's still good.
All right.
I don't know if any one of us has a ability to check quietly.
I do not, but if these guys do,
So-
one of them will.
Yep.
I can't believe you haven't seen any of the Harry Potters.
No,
Nothing.
not one.
You would enjoy it.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm one of those people that have never seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
Neither have I, actually.
Yeah.
I'm actually number 3 on that. I
I've
watched.
seen it.
I watched a few minutes and then turned it off.
That's a really good show. Also, good storylines.
Yeah.
I just it's a little too rapey.
Cool thing
for
about
me.
Game of Thrones is up to season 4 is all by the book, and I think there's 2 or 3 more seasons that they made up because the book never came out yet. So when the book comes out, we can see if he made shit up or.
Yeah, or he gave them a map.
Yeah, I think he gave them the map, but a lot of people didn't like it, so he can go, hey, I'll switch this, switch that.
Yeah, exactly.
I would definitely switch it because I want people to buy the books.
Yeah.
And then
you
have to
hated
make
that
the new
ending?
ones. Yeah, have to make the new ones.
It's supposed to be a prequel.
Now, a lot of people talk about how much they hate the ending to Game of Thrones. What is, in your opinion, and this is a fun thing for us to talk about, the worst television ending of all time?
All right, before anyone says it,
Yeah?
I'm going to say it's not the worst ending, is The Sopranos. I think that's a great ending.
Yeah, I kind of like Tony getting whacked.
Or did he?
He did.
You know what I mean? Yeah, of course,
He
yeah.
clearly got whacked.
They even did the eyes the same way. Like, if you can go find videos on YouTube. Looks up, sees the thing, then it's the reverse shot of his face. He looks up, sees the bell ring, someone comes up, reverse shot, sees his face. You see the bell ring, reverse shot is all black. So his face is finally...
Yep. Now, I think the bigger question is, did they whack the whole family?
Right now. Because they weren't whacking whole families in these things.
No, they did on occasion.
Yeah,
What
just
about you
for
guys? Worst ending? Because while I like that ending, the best ending ever was to the second Bob Newhart show, where he woke up next to his wife from the first Bob Newhart show and talked about the weird dream he just had. That might be the greatest ending I've ever seen in television.
Yeah, I saw that live.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was negative 32.
It'd have been 4.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard question. The worst ending of a show.
Yeah. Especially like you mean like a series type thing where it's like, I don't know. I recently started watching because of Creep Show. They redid it with Greg Nicotero, so I was like, oh, this should be awesome. And I started watching that series, and it was just like so crazy because how good the original show was. They took elements from it, and it was cool, but the storyline, if you watch, and I just lost me because my camera just fell. If you watch, it literally, I have a camera, people, hanging on by freaking mask and tape, and the damn thing just fell. There you go, folks. That's about as good as we
high
get.
tech.
This is our tech guy.
This is our tech guy.
I'm the engineer running it, and the camera just freaking fell. What the hell?
Wow.
Dang nabbit, baba. But anyway, the point I was trying to make is that I think it was let me see, 1, 2, 3. By the third episode, because it's like 3 stories per. So by the third episode, the stories start to get good, or at least okay. But like the first couple of episodes, I'm watching them and I'm like, I don't understand. They wrote it, and right about when they got to the last page, it's just like, yeah, let's just stop it. Because it's like it more or less ends like that. It's insane. And I thought it was really weird because it was such a good brand and such a, had so much behind it. But like I said, by the third episode, it gets better. Fourth episode, I think that's the one episode that Nicotero wrote, which wasn't bad. And then, it's just, but like some of the episodes, I mean, I don't want to give it away because you guys might want to watch it, but like it literally, the way that it ends, it's just like as if they just were rolling and then they just stopped. Like it was the most abrupt, kind of weird ending of having no value to anything that just happened the last 22 minutes prior. Yeah, very strange.
John G,
What
you
about,
gotta,
John
you got to
G.
vote for worst? John G?
Worst what?
Worst
Worst ending?
Worst ending ever to a TV show.
See, I really didn't like The Sopranos.
You know what? We will get back to this in a moment, but I see our guest, our first guest, is in the waiting room, and we have tickets to sell, so I'm going to let him in.
Ask him the question too.
I might actually ask him a question.
He would know a good answer.
We're going to admit him in, and it's going to take a second for his audio to pop up and his video.
Yep.
Mr. Robert, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Beautiful. So we are bringing in our good friend, but also the executive director of the Turnpike Film Festival, which is currently going on and is a big deal.
Where can you find that?
Well, I think you can find it at www.turnpikefilmfestival.com, where you can get a link to buy tickets. And you can get an all-access pass to see over 20 hours of movies for a whopping $35, or you can buy passes to individual events, all of which are about 3 hours, and that's only $10 per event.
Woo!
So you have a lot of ways to get there. But
I think you misspoke, Jim. It's only 18 hours, not 20 hours.
Oh, only 18 hours, not 20.
Yes.
All right, well, 18 hours is still nothing to shake a stick at. If the average movie is 2 hours, it's 9 movies. 9 movie tickets back when movie theaters used to exist would cost you easily $135,
Back in
not
my
including
day.
popcorn.
Except there's more variety on the Turnpike Film Festival because there's only a handful of feature lengths, like 3 or maybe 4 feature lengths. Everything else qualifies as a short. Some are as short as a minute. So there's a huge amount of variety to watch.
Beautiful. Wanted to talk to you about the process. Let's first talk about how important things like this are to filmmakers to get into festivals, and why we should support young filmmakers.
Well, give or take a few exceptions, this is where everybody starts. I mean, Spielberg and Lucas and other, Kubrick didn't say, I'm going to make a feature-length movie that's going to be great and people are going to buy tickets in a movie theater to do it. They all started out with smaller projects, and some of them were great right from the get-go. I mean, I think it was George Lucas's student film was THX something else with a bunch of numbers, and everybody raves about that one, but that probably first aired at a student film festival. So it's a training ground, but it's a training ground for people that are developing, but for people that already have great movie making skills, festivals are the earliest form of recognition that they get. Getting into festivals or winning festivals is the first, that's you got to take those steps before you can win an Oscar.
Now, one of your films, I believe it's A Quiet Space, is the record holder at New Media Comedy for most festivals. How many has it been in?
How many has it been in? I could look that up, but I'm going to say it's been in about probably 14. I mean, part of that is that it was one of the first ones we started submitting when I said, we really need to get into our stuff into more festivals. That one was ready. It was in the can. It was not made to be a standalone movie, as everybody that's on camera knows. It was made for the parody show we did of the Oscars 2 years ago called Not the Oscars. It was a parody of A Quiet Place. And but it was a 3.5 minute movie that was ready to go. So I entered it into some festivals, and it got into a bunch right from the start.
All right, so now here's what I don't think people understand with festivals. There's a judging committee, and you had to sit through and watch 60 movies-ish? 60s? Yeah.
Yeah, there was about 60 film in the Turnpike Film Festival.
Yeah.
And
let's be really candid here. Not all of them were films that you really wanted to watch. They would not be films you would have chosen to watch.
No, some of them were not ones that I want to watch. I would say even, you know, you have to recognize that somebody wants to watch virtually all of these films. I mean, somebody wanted to make all of these films, but you know, you can't pick everything. We did. We had a difficult choice in saying what do we want to not be in the festival. But when it became kind of apparent that we couldn't have a traditional film festival because of COVID-19 social distancing rules and all movie theaters were closed, we couldn't rent out a movie theater to have a film festival. So we had to, basically the only other choice, I mean, I guess unless we could find a drive-in that wanted to rent to us, but there's only about 4 of them in the United States anymore. The choice was to move it online. And with an online format, we could select more films because we're basically unlimited. But, you know, we still picked the best, the majority, and did not pick some other ones that I'm not going to bother naming.
All right, so just from off the top of your head, what are some of the standout films that you think people should be watching?
There's 2 that come immediately to mind. One is, which I had seen it in other film festivals in New Jersey. I can't think of which ones they were, but you know, Garage. The name of the film is Garage, and it's a short film. And you know, when I say short, I mean under a half an hour. I can tell you exactly how long it is. Yeah, it's only 11 minutes long, and it's a one-man show, and it's well written and well acted. It's about a guy who's basically cleaning out a deceased relative's garage, and it's a series of monologues. And that's made by a guy in New Jersey, so that's a local film.
Right here in Rahway, right?
Yeah.
Right there in Rahway.
And another one that comes to mind is a foreign film, which was made in India, and it is a 5-minute or so film. It's a sort of a dramatization of what one person's take on maybe what happened in the last 5 minutes of Vincent van Gogh's life, and it's pretty much a meeting between him and the personification of death, you know, on the Grim Reaper, and it's got subtitles in English, and it's a really interesting story. It's a really interesting take. It's beautifully shot. Those are 2 standouts that come to mind. I was also interested to see that we had several animated shorts that were submitted. One was just an outright music video, was an animated music video. Another one was like a silent film that had no words, but it had a sort of a background piano, just like you would experience in the silent days of movies. There would be a guy accompanying the movie on a piano live in the movie theater. So there's a piano soundtrack. And there were a couple other animated stories as well. We had a couple puppet movies starring either only puppets or that had primarily puppets as the cast. And
to that end, one of our features is actually from New Media Comedy Productions, which is Gail's new boyfriend. And obviously, when we're screening films that are our own as well, they're not able to be juried, but there is a definite puppet theme that's going on in some.
There is. I don't know if I put them all in the same block, but I mean, I think there's only like 3 movies with puppets in it, so that's not enough for a whole event, a 3-hour event of movies. But yeah, I thought you were the only puppet fan out there,
No.
But apparently there's other puppet fans out there. There's other filmmakers that really like the puppets.
I'm telling you, puppets are the way of the future.
Oh my gosh, I forgot the Unicorn is a 1 minute. 1 minute? It's not. It's longer than 1 minute. It's a short film. We had it's a 4 minute film, but we had a quarantine category added at the last minute, which was films that people made during the times of quarantine, and you could all use the people in your house that you live with or yourself to make quarantine films. We had about 9 or 10 of those. One of them was called The Unicorn, which I don't know if they were puppets. They might have been stuffed animals. Also, so stuffed animals or puppets featured prominently in that one as well. That's a foreign film. That's by a French filmmaker. It's in subtitles in English. It's an excellent film.
I want to talk a little bit about this because I know that it was very important to you, and it was very important to the rest of us here in the media when we were helping facilitate this. When it moved from a live event to an online event, I think the key problem or the key roadblock to doing that was filmmakers worry about their intellectual property. And, we partnered over with Zerb in order to get all this done. But you were firsthand dealing with filmmakers as they were making sure their IP rights are protected. Can you speak a little bit to the audience about what we've done to protect everyone's IP rights and why that's so important?
Well, you can't. So, I have New Media Comedy has 1 minute short films out there that we have not. We're still entering them into festivals, and we therefore have not put them on YouTube or Instagram. You can even put it on Instagram, and we haven't done that. In part, it's not because those ever represent to us probably much, if any, of a revenue stream, should we get it on a pay-per-view service or something like that. However, a longer short film or a feature film for anybody does represent a potential revenue stream for them. If if you distribute it, whether you distribute it for pay on the internet or whether you distribute it in video on demand or in a Redbox situation, or somebody makes DVDs out of it, or you actually put it in a brick and mortar theater and charge tickets to it. So no filmmaker wants their potential revenue source to be out there, escaped, and able to be copied and pirated. So that's a big concern. But also, it's probably a smaller concern, there are film festivals that they don't want you to enter if your film is publicly available. Some do not care. This was the inaugural event for Turnpike Film Festival. So frankly, we didn't care. We just want to establish Turnpike as an annual film festival. So we basically accepted. Well, I won't say we accepted anything. We solicited people to submit virtually anything. It didn't matter if it had been in a festival before. It doesn't matter if it's available on YouTube for free. And I think that worked out. In future years, maybe we'll tighten it. A lot of film festivals, some of them even have requirements that we only want your debut. We don't even want it to have screened at other film festivals before. I can't think of who that is. They must be very special. But a lot of film festivals do not want films that are publicly available on YouTube or publicly available on Vimeo or your own website. They want stuff that is not generally available to the public, and it's fine if it's been in other festivals. So there's two reasons, both protecting revenue and both protecting your rights to get the film in future festivals, that we wanted to be very protective. So, the Zerb format, the the filmmakers have to upload it themselves to the platform, and there is no way for people to download it and copy it from the platform and put it, pirate it essentially. So, I didn't do it. Other people on this call did the research to find it. Film festivals in the last 3 months have either been postponed or they've gone online. And, I've had stuff in some other online festivals. People are doing it different ways. Sometimes you can't tell what their platform is. Sometimes they put it on their own website, and they, without like password protection or something like that. So I don't think that's nearly as protective as the way we have it set up observed.
It is not. Now, we only got you for a couple more minutes, and I want to get to something that's more Robert-centered than festival-centered, because you've been kind enough to talk to us about that. I spoke with you earlier today, and you were excited because you were submitting an audition for something that's actually going to film in the great state of New Jersey. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't submit an audition. I just submitted that I'm available, and they want it. All they want is they're casting from photos. So it's on one of the pay services, and they're looking for people with their own cars that live close enough with their own car that they can drive to Cherry Hill to shoot. It's some kind of a COVID commercial, either a PSA or a commercial about getting tested or get an antibodies test. I don't know. They don't put a lot of details in it, but it's in Cherry Hill, and I said I'm available on both potential days that they might shoot on. Here's a picture, fairly close to what I look like now. I sent a picture of me with a mustache and a goatee, and I have my own car, and I can easily self-report to Cherry Hill. And that's the first.
It breaks again.
Huh?
Unless it breaks again.
No, this one won't. This was one of the first physical filming calls for actors that I've seen in a very long time. Up until today, it's been stuff for either, well, here's the part, and the shooting date is to be decided, or there's been some voiceover work if you have the equipment to record from your home. This is like the first thing I've seen that said, and half of the description was there's only going to be a 2-person crew, and we're going to maintain social distancing, and because it's a COVID-19 commercial, you're going to be in masks, you're going to have gloves, so all precautions will be followed, I suppose.
The safest shoot nowadays will be a COVID-19 commercial shoot.
You're going to get there and it's going to be a pro-COVID shoot.
Maybe that's
like,
why.
Hey, do you want COVID? Come here.
Let me lick you. Ah.
That's what it's going to wind up being. Robert, you didn't think you'd get away without us showing our roots, did you?
Woohoo.
Now, are you looking forward, because when the immediate comedy resumes production, the script you wrote is the next one in the queue. That's the next one to be shot.
Certainly hope so, yes.
Well, it was on the books.
I know.
Cast. And literally for the weekend.
We were even trying to schedule it when the world ended, yes.
Yeah. So it's the first one when we come back. What are you most looking forward to as an actor when this all ends?
Oh, not specific to our shoot. Nothing against my family, but it's nice to chat with real other people live.
Yeah.
It might be nice to make money again, even though it's a small amount usually. It might be nice to make a little money again. Getting out, I haven't been more than 10 miles from home in the past 3 months.
Yeah.
Close to 3 months, 2.5 months.
That would all be fun stuff again. Robert, we want to thank you for stopping in. Tell people one more time where they can find the Turnpike Film Festival.
Go to the www.turnpikefilmfestival.com and look for the links to take you to the festival on Zurb.
And you're in a few things, but if they can only watch one Robert Cunniff performance, which one should they be watching?
Oh boy. I don't know. I don't know whether to go with the award-winning Clowning Around or Bathing Beauty, which are both 1-minute shorts, or perhaps the feature-length Robert's Horror Matinee. It's a tough call.
I might also add to that your appearance as the boss in Mr. Beasley Presents.
Beasley Presents.
Yes.
Or the man in the urinal.
The man in the urinal, Gail's new boyfriend,
Yes.
murdered by a puppet.
That is perhaps my best 8 seconds of FaceTime on screen and includes a death scene. So, yeah, that one's good too.
And if you've ever wanted to see somebody maniacally killed by a puppet, that's the one you got to tune in for.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah,
Robert?
you know, there's all these records about the number of people that have been killed by, Bill Paxton was killed by a Terminator and a Predator and an Alien. I don't know if he was ever killed by a puppet, so I got that up on him.
There you go. So he leads you 3-0 in aliens, but you lead him 1-0 in puppets.
Well, technically, a Terminator's not an alien, so.
Ah. All right. All right. So
We have one last
What is
quick
a
question.
Terminator?
go for it, Mike. Which question?
What's your worst TV ending, series ending? What's the worst one that's ever existed?
We were talking about what is the worst ending ever for a television show.
Wow. There's a lot. There's a lot. In recent memory, I pretty much hated, along with everybody else, the way Game of Thrones ended. What they did to Khaleesi was not really foreshadowed and kind of a shitty
Thrown
ending.
together.
I'll go back a little further in time. I don't know how long, maybe 15 or 20 years. Quantum Leap was with Scott Bakula was I enjoyed that series. It's about a guy that jumps using technology. He jumps through time and fixes people's problems in different time periods. And I would say that show was a pretty damn good show, and it was either 2 or 3 seasons up until the final episode. The final episode sucked ass.
How did it end?
It ended with, I guess it was an intervention by powers greater than him. The episode was a mishmash. What they did was they took characters that you had only ever seen once before. Really, he was the only recurring character because he would jump around in time, and they had different characters, different actors playing different characters in any given time period. But they threw them all into the situation with him in the final episode. And he goes, "Oh my God, Joe, remember when I jumped through time and I helped you save your wife?" And the guy says, "I'm not Joe, I'm Bill, and I'm not married." And they reused all their guest stars from the previous couple seasons, and they made them sort of different characters. And then they had a shitty end. You'd always hope that the guy would finally jump and go back to his own time, so he could stop doing all this good work, and he could see his family again. And they ended with a scroll on the bottom of the screen that, and the doctor never returned home. He must have continued jumping through time for the rest of his natural life. This is very depressing and out of the blue and very unsatisfying ending. When they knew they were ending, they could have made a much better ending.
That is absolutely true. Well, Robert, it is good to have you here. We will see you again. Are you going to your art class now?
Yeah, I'm going to my art class in the other room, to paint a Tiger King through Zoom class and
Carol Baskin.
Drink wine.
All right.
Ooh.
We will see you soon. Thank you
Enjoy
so
the
much,
painting.
Robert.
Thank you,
Thank you
Robert.
for
And
having
for all
me.
of those listening, the festival website is not only printed on the screen for all our Facebook Live watchers, but it is also in the comments section. So please check the comments section to check out the Turnpike Film Festival.
All right. So that
You know,
was.
John, with all those words, you could have just said go to turnpikefilmfestival.com. You know that, right?
But,
Wow, I wouldn't even thought of that.
Oh, come on.
guys, hold on.
Yes,
We
dear.
are going to admit a very fun filmmaker. So I just want to bring her in, even as we speak.
Yep.
There, she's coming in, hopefully.
And let me know.
There you go. She's connected to her audio. This is going to be fun to talk to Candice because she's one of our favorite people, and it's one of my favorite films in the festival. And I'm not just saying that because she thanked me in the credits. I'm saying that because it's true. It was actually fun because I was watching it and it's playing, and my kid wandered by as the credits rolled up, and she saw my name and she went, "Hey, it's you!" And I'm there like, "Yep." That's it. So help me welcome Candice. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh,
Hello.
you're welcome. And she is kind enough to come on here to talk a little bit about her movie, Naked Ambition, which is in block numero uno. It is in event number 1 of the Turnpike Film Festival. But I want to start by just talking about how much love this movie is getting. You've been in, if my count is correct, you've been in 193 festivals at this point. It seems every time I turn around, you're in another festival.
Yeah, I hope they keep coming too. Yeah.
And people just seem to love the hell out of this movie. So let's talk a little bit about, why you made the movie, what challenges you had making the movie. And then I want to get into the mindset of it because it was also a very pro-woman film in terms of cast and crew. So I want to touch on all of that.
Yeah. So the reason why I made this film because I'm actually a dancer, and I have been dancing for like 14 plus years now. So I'm a pro, and I kind of really wanted to, not a prostitute, it's like a professional.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to tell a story about a girl who's struggling to get out of that world and the sacrifices a dancer has to make, to make things happen, because once you're in that world, it's kind of hard to get out. You're used to the fast money, used to all the amazing things about it, but then there's also this dark downside to it as well, which I wanted to shed light on. So that's kind of what made me make the film. What was another question? Sorry.
Just to clarify so everyone understands, when she says dancer, she's talking that you dance in gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah,
I think that's the political way of saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, stripper. Because you know why? The name stripper is a little bit, it doesn't sound nice.
No, it doesn't.
So I always say, I dance.
Yeah.
To just to stop that initial judgment, of the negativity of the word,
Yep. But
yeah.
The big thing for me, because I knew you as an actor before I knew you danced.
Yes.
So I got to know you the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's fun watching you inhabit the character that you're playing, because I'm sure a lot of it's based on personal experience and stuff you actually had to live through. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it is also character work. A lot of what you're doing is also telling a story.
Yeah.
And it's telling a very deliberate story.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about, where kind of Candice ends and the character begins. What kind of work did you have to do?
That's a good question. I feel, my experiences of how I handle the customers and my ambition is me. But the part that is Zara and is not me is the fact of wanting to kind of wanting to get revenge. That's not something that I go around work doing, because that's part of the job, right? You have to put up with the drunk customers, the abuse, like you kind of have to deal with that, because otherwise you can't do your job. But kind of for Zara, she had enough of that, and that was kind of her. I don't want to give it away, but she pulls her tampon out and bleeds on a customer, and that's her way of like sticking it to him, so she's a little bit more revengeful than I am.
So I also want to talk about, because to me it's fascinating when I watch a movie about stand-up comics, and even ones that are written by stand-up comics, and I see all the things that I'm going, okay, that's real, that's an embellishment, that's a little extra. What's been the reaction to other dancers that have seen your movie?
Other dancers. Oh yeah, one of my very good friends is like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you made that. Like, it made her feel special and seen, and like the other people understand her problems that she deals with. Because often in movies like Hustlers or Striptease or any kind of movies where they have exotic dancers, they always glamorize it. And like when you're a dancer, that like there's a whole nother side to it. And that was like really what I wanted to show,
Yep. So I want to talk about, because to me there's, the acting is wonderful and it's beautifully shot. But to me, when, we were talking about it, because I was fortunate enough to, hear the concept before you made it and sat with you as you were as you were developing it, you had a vision to make this with a female crew. You had a vision to make this with a female director. You wanted this to be very pro-female. Why was that important to you, and can you tell us about your team?
Yeah, honestly, I had tried to make it with two other different groups of people who were male, and it just it was a little bit harder for me, because this is about a woman's story, and it's hard. Not saying that men can't do it, but it's hard for them to see the same things. So after it didn't work twice with men, I'm like, oh, there's a reason why that's not working. It's because I need the strong female influence to guide it, So I was able to find a female director, and she brought on all these wonderful connects. I mean, it wasn't only female crew. Our DP was a guy. And, some of the tech people were guys. So it wasn't like exclusively, no men. No. But I wanted it to have a strong female touch to it. Yeah. And so you asked another question. I couldn't remember what it was.
No, I wanted to know about the experience. But I also want to talk about this because you came in for a film that I was directing, and you came in very last minute, replacing an actor in what is the most miserable role I've ever written. And to set it for the audience, it is a woman whose life was completely destroyed by somebody she loved, turned into a drug addict, and now can't fight the fiending. She's totally surrendered to it. In it, but there's like the trifecta of horrible scenes. There's incredible grieving scenes. There's, and if that wasn't enough, there's a nude scene. And if that's not enough, there's a suicide scene. It's like,
wait, there's more.
Yeah. I just kind of designed like the worst possible role I could ever ask an actor to come in. And not only did you come in, you came in on short notice. If I remember correctly, you had 3 weeks to prep.
Yeah, something like that.
I gave it to you 3 weeks beforehand. So as an actor, when you get something that's that hard, and it's my film Syzygy, which is in post-production right now, when you get work that's that complex and that hard, what did you have to do to get there? Because I remember directing you and standing on the porch before you had to make an entrance, and some of the psychological work you were doing was brutal.
Well, I remember at one point before we did a take, I was lying on the floor, breathing, trying to ground myself, trying to get myself in the headspace of someone who's got all this emotional pain. And I remember one of your crew members came to you and Jim, is Candice okay? and you were like, oh yeah, she's in the zone. But like other people were really freaked because you can't. I believe that you can't really pretend. You have to kind of half go there as well. Yeah. So like that involves me zoning out, breathing, listening to music that helps with the emotion, and yeah, like I just love it.
There was and you know, I'm used to working with actors, and I'm also used to working with method actors, so I see a lot of people that go to really dark places. I want to talk about a moment that you might not even remember. It's when we were standing on the porch, and you have to go in and you're going to talk to the mother of the person you loved who had just died. And to get there, you had turned to me because I was outside with you as you were filming the entrance, and you said, just before you say action, can you say this to me? And it was a very intense and personal thing that you wanted me to say. And, you know, it just, the second you said it to me, I realized exactly how dark a place you were about to go to.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so funny. I had forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And it really made an impact as an actor, because I don't think a lot of people understand the craft of acting. Did you come up with that on set, or was that something that as you were prepping the role, you were there like, to get me where this director wants to go, I need to channel this emotion?
I think that I did that because I wasn't feeling what I was supposed to be feeling, and I needed like help. So I thought, oh well, I know something that is really means a lot to me and is very sad. If that's mentioned, that will take me to a place that I need to be. So I guess that was just a spur of the moment thing, you know, to bring the right emotions up.
All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like that.
that was a little difficult to. When I saw you doing that work, I was incredibly impressed. I'm there like, wow, this is somebody that knows exactly what they need. Let's talk about where you are career-wise and where you want to be. Yeah, you know, Naked Ambition is in a lot of festivals. What are you hoping comes of it? Because I know at one point you were thinking a series. You know, are you thinking a feature? What exactly do you want to do with the concept and your future?
Yeah, well, since the pandemic, I've had a lot of time, and I was able to complete my pilot.
Great.
Also named Naked Ambition, with the same themes, same characters, but a little bit more of a dark comedy. Because Naked Ambition is it's a straight drama, and you know it's hard to get people to want to tune into that every week. So I was like, let me just lighten it up a little bit. So I've finished a pilot and show Bible, and I've sent that off to some competitions. I really want to be able to get my work on screen, you know, and create a role for myself, because it's really hard for me to fit into all the roles that are out there right now. You know, it's hard for any actor. And I would like to be in a writer's room. That's also an ambition. So I have big dreams that I will fulfill. Yeah.
We all have big dreams. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Want to talk a little bit pandemic with you, because you are in an industry like I am with stand-up comedy. You know, obviously, with you as a dancer, clubs closed. There's no income. There's nothing. And I know a lot of people I know from my industry are hurting bad, and it's got to be the same on your end too. Two things: what are you doing to kind of mentally cope until you get back there? And two, when it opens up again, are you going to be comfortable going back to the clubs?
Yeah. Well, lucky for me, I had saved some money, so I had used that up, and then only after 3 months now am I getting unemployment. So thankfully I had that cushion there. Mentally, oh gosh, the first month I really struggled. Like, I really struggled to get out of bed, just to stay positive, to see an end to this, like worrying about my finances. And then I just had to go, oh, you know what? You're not in control. Like, just give it up. And then like try not to resist it. That really helped me. What else? Oh, and going back, it's gonna be hard because people don't have money like they used to. So I got a feeling like the amount of money won't be as good. People will be scared. They might not want to be touched. And like, I'm in the business of touching. So like,
could be the complete opposite though. They could be so ready to touch and spend
I
all their
hope
money.
so. This is my hopes. Yeah, so like I'm interested, but I'm also scared because I haven't. It's an emotional toll working at the strip club. Not only do you have to feel your best, look your best, like you have to be on, and it's like this whole thing. So I've not been there for a few months, so it's gonna be a small adjustment to getting back into the swing of it.
Yeah, it's probably
and it's like physically draining. Also, you're wearing like 4-inch heels all night, dancing, squatting, like. That's it's rough on your body.
Yeah, I know. I have a tough time when I have to do that. So
I'd hate to see you in heels, Jim.
If I were on heels, everyone in the company would panic because I'm one head wound away from a dribble cup, and I think they would just see like, nope, someone get you a helmet.
I would be so nervous about Jim dancing on a stage and just dancing in general. That I'd make him have like a thong bikini outfit out of like Lysol wipes or something. Just to protect.
I have a few spare outfits if you ever need.
Did you actually have to put that mental picture out there, really? Really?
We woke John up with the image of me in a Lysol thong.
No.
That's what woke John up.
Jim and thong in the same sentence. Don't
you don't want to hear that. So, okay, Candice, if people want to follow you, find out where, because obviously this film festival runs until June 10th, and people can go online and see it. But after June 10th, if they want to find out what festival you're in next, or they want to find out all things Naked Ambition, where would they go?
Yeah, I have a website for the film. It's Naked Ambition Film. That's the main website. And also you can find me on social media, Naked Ambition Film, on Instagram, Facebook, and so on and so on. Yeah.
And you definitely want to see this movie. There's so many wonderful moments. There is in particular a moment where you are walking away from the club near the end of the film. That is my favorite moment in the film.
Oh, yeah?
And when people watch, they will have their own favorite moments in the film. Candice, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being brilliant in my movie, and congratulations on being brilliant in yours.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right, that is Candice, everybody, and you guys need to go and you need to follow her. You need to see what she's doing, and just have a fun time watching.
Absolutely, absolutely. For all those that are listening and watching us out there, Candice's film is called Naked Ambition. It is in the Turnpike Film Festival. It is an event number 1. It's at the turnpikefilmfestival.com, excuse me. Like I said, it's event number 1, and also in the comments are the nakedambitionfilm.com website. Please go there, check out Candice, and follow her on all of her social media.
When does event 1 take place?
It is the entire
live and
time.
direct. Yep.
You can go to any event for the entire 14-day run of the festival and watch whatever event you want to watch.
Yep.
You can
When does it start, I mean?
Yeah, it started. It started on the 27th.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, you could go right now. Not right now. You need to wait about another 56 minutes before you go, till this show ends. But when this show ends, you can go right onto the Turnpike Film Festival website and you can start watching. And Mike, you got a bunch of stuff on there too. What's your favorite thing that you're looking forward to hearing the public's reaction on?
Mr. Beasley Presents.
Mr. Beasley Presents. Now that was kind of that's been your baby. You've been editing that, so let's just to tell a little bit of a tale with this. It's the first new media comedy project that's 4K, and you had to actually not only film and edit it, but you had to learn how to edit 4K footage, which is
fucking pain in the goddamn ass. I hope it breaks. I hope 4K dissolves.
You want to go back to HD? Is that what you're saying?
That's it.
You want to go back to HD. John McGores wants to go back to Final Cut 7. You know, I think at this point, John G just wants to go back to another time.
He just wants to get the hell out of the office.
He wants to leave the office and be in a pre-COVID world.
He's stuck in that little white box.
Did you see Chris Rock on Cuomo's thing?
Yeah, I did. It was awesome.
He made me laugh so much when he looked at it and said, "Hello, Mike."
Yeah, when he said the microphone.
I missed you.
Yeah.
I missed you, Mike.
This is what a microphone looks like.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, him and Rosie Perez just did knock it out of the park.
Yeah. It was kind of weird, though, because, I mean, I'm not picking on her or anything like that. I love her to death. But did you see, like, I felt like she was, like, extra nervous speaking on a completely different stage than what she's used to. You know what I mean? Like, you could probably put her in front of a camera, have 100 people in the crew, and she pops out like, Billy! And maybe, like, her boobs are out, or, like, and she's totally fine. And then you put her in, like, a press conference out into the world, and it's like, you can hear, like, the stuttering in her. I mean, I probably would be a babbling fool, so
yeah.
I can only imagine. But, like, yeah, it was just interesting. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you think. But I guess it's a different medium, which is why then when it goes to Chris, he is like, yay! What's that? You know what I mean? He's like, he's used to it, you know. It was interesting.
Although I will say this, when Craig Ferguson left his show and they gave it to rolling hosts for a week at a clip, and they gave it to a lot of different people. One of the people they gave it to was Rosie Perez for a week, and that woman needs her own talk show.
Oh, I love Rosie.
Not The View. She needs her own one-on-one talk show.
I love Rosie.
She would hold people to their shit.
Oh, yeah. No, it would have to be like a talk show in New York, too. It couldn't be one of those, like, Ellen DeGeneres shows in California with this bougie set. It's got to be, like, grit in New York.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be. And oddly, I can listen to her talk all day. That accent does it for me. It has always done it for me. Mm-hmm. She could be 90 with that accent, and it would do it for me. Like, there are just a handful of women that the way they speak is just enough to make me just wish I was spending time with them. That's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's funny enough on the opposite side, not being so romantic and, you know, did you guys see the elderly woman? I think she was like 90-something, just got out of getting over COVID, and she recovers. And the nurses are taking care of her and all that, and everybody's doing a great job. And they look at her and they say, "Are you feeling all right? What do you need?" And she comes up and she's like, "I just want an ice cold Bud Light." She literally,
that's a good video.
It is an awesome video of her drinking it, and she goes, "Oh, that's cold."
Yeah,
it's awesome. I'm like, I want to hang with that woman. I don't care how old she is. I want to go to the ball game. I want to go to a concert. You know what I mean?
I want to go to an Alice Cooper concert with that woman.
Yes,
I like have a specific concert I want to go to.
That woman is awesome.
Yeah. And you know the Bud Light people have to be incredibly happy.
I wouldn't doubt if once this thing kind of give it a little bit, they are going to do a commercial that absolutely features her in some way, shape, or form. Trust me.
She's still around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She fell off the bed.
How shitty would that be, though? You fight COVID in your 90s and win, and like 3 days later, you stub your toe and die. That would be like the fucking worst.
Be absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Not saying it's going to happen to her. Don't wish it on her.
Yeah,
but,
no, absolutely.
I don't know why she didn't drink a Corona. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
What do you want? Can I have a Corona?
Yeah, that would have been awesome. That's what she would ask for.
I don't believe you can get Corona. I know the liquor stores in this town have stopped carrying it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What a dumb fuck.
You know, it is also...
People are dumb as fuck.
Yeah, they are.
The brewery, Negra Modelo, they're the ones that make Corona. And once Mexico went into lockdown, they didn't deem it as essential. So I know they stopped making Corona. So it might also be difficult to get it. I
saw a new commercial now, though. They're doing the seltzers like everyone else is.
Oh, that's the most
Are they really?
thing.
Yeah.
So as of April 3rd, Corona announced that they were halting Corona beer production. Yeah.
I hate everyone.
Do you hate everyone, Mike, or is it just everyone you
Fucking
met?
just hate
Just everyone,
fucking
Mike, or is it
everyone.
everyone?
Just fucking everyone.
Wait a minute. I
So
worked a really
done with
hard time on
everyone.
these graphics. I might have to change this to the F Everyone show because
Yeah. It's everything right now.
All the drunks are back. Ugh.
Oh.
mm-hmm.
Oh. I gotta tell you. So, I'm in the local bagel shop here in the town I'm in, and all I want is my morning bagel. That is all I want. Just leave me alone. Just let me get. I want my bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. You guys grew up in New York. You know what I'm talking about. John.
hell yeah.
John's a little different. John might be more the Taylor ham.
Taylor
I was gonna say
ham.
you throw the
Pork
Taylor
roll.
ham
Pork
on
roll,
it.
egg, and cheese, man.
Pork
I made
roll,
one at
there he
home the
is.
other day.
Jersey in the easy.
So all I want is bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll, and this place does it well. So I go to my bagel shop, and there's a guy with no mask, and they won't let him in because he refuses to put on a mask. Okay, you want to be an asshole? Be an asshole. I don't begrudge anybody the right to be an asshole, but I got my mask on, and I go to walk in, and he looks at me and goes, "If I can't get in, nobody's getting in this place." And I'm like, dude, look at the size of me, and there's food in there. Do you really think you're stopping me? Do you really think that you are going to stop me? So he's yelling, he's yelling at the guy because the guy's like, "Let my customers in." And he's like, "No, no, no, no." And as he's yelling at the owner, I'm there like, "Oh man, is that your car?" And the second he turned, I just walked into the place. It's the oldest trick in the book. Like, look at your car.
Nice.
So I get my order, and I'm walking out, and as I'm walking out, he starts like walking and next to me, like yelling, like, "That's not right. You should be in solidarity. This is a hoax." And I'm there like, you understand? You're just a lone idiot screaming in an empty town. Like literally, look around. This is an empty town. You are the only one screaming. You are a lone idiot screaming in an empty town. So I don't know who you think you're going to change their minds. I don't know who you think is going to believe you, but I'm certainly not one of them.
Yeah.
And the guy just stopped, and he's like, "I'm not an idiot." And it was like I said the one thing that could hurt his feelings.
The
And
one
he
thing
walked-
his father's been telling him for life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And he like walks away, like his head down. It looked like Charlie Brown after Lucy pulled the ball from him again. And I gotta tell you guys, I never felt more deeply satisfied than I did at that moment. That was just like a highlight of my existence. Just
Yeah.
and I know it's just something wrong about me that moment of shittiness was one of the best moments of my life, but it clearly was
Yeah.
one of the best moments of my life.
And that's the thing is that like it's behavior like that. Okay, so for right now, they're telling you they want you to wear the mask. Cuomo even set out for New York, said, look, as a private business owner, you have the right to refuse service to somebody for not wearing a mask. At the end of the day, if you think about it, you get out of your, it depends on where you live, but let's say you get out of your, wherever you live. If you're in an apartment, whatever, you might want to throw on the mask. If it's just a house, you walk out. You're going to get in the car by yourself. Maybe you don't have the mask. You're not going to pass anybody. You're driving without the mask. Fine. You get to your destination. That's when you quickly throw on said mask. Go do whatever that is, the hell that is you need to do. Get back in your car, take the damn thing off, and get home. Like,
Yeah,
to sit
you're around
there
people,
and
put it on for 5 minutes.
to sit there and argue outside of the bagel store of this isn't right, dude. Just put the damn mask on, go in, get your food, and go home like everybody else. That's
Get
it.
your ass, go get your coffee.
You know what I think is the funniest thing about all this?
What?
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm pro-mask if you're around people, protect me, protect you, all that kind of stuff. But flashback 6 months ago, and try walking into a store with a face mask on, and see how fast you get your ass thrown out.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like a whole weird sensation thing going on, in your mind, because like in the past you look at people like they were crazy, they were going to rob the place, you know, what are they hiding, so on and so forth. And now it's like you can get thrown out for not putting on masks. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It is incredibly interesting. And it's, you know what? I understand the people that don't want to wear the mask. I absolutely understand them. I don't agree with them, but I understand them. You know, you feel like people are restricting your freedom. Do you also get pissed when you're wearing a seatbelt?
Yeah.
Do you also get pissed when you're told you need to have a license and registration and insurance?
Yep.
There are laws for public safety.
Mm-hmm.
And people just have to understand that personal freedoms end at the public concern.
But do you really think that a law making you wear a seatbelt is for public safety or your safety?
Both. But it's the same thing with the masks. It's for both everybody's safety.
Well, why is it public safety if you're wearing a seatbelt?
Because if I'm driving a car and it crashes and I get ejected from said car, that car is now
land on you.
Yeah, a projectile that could land on me, or because nobody's behind the wheel anymore, could land on somebody else.
Yep. Even more so. I'll give you another example. Not even having that drastic where you're ejected out of the car. You're driving, whatever happens, you get into an accident. If you're not wearing a seatbelt, let's say you survive, you are going to be so fucked up and mashed up that now they're calling people out to come get you. You know what I mean? It's a whole, different, completely delicate procedure of getting you from the accident scene to the hospital and continue to live. Versus, I was wearing my seatbelt, and you always hear it, thank God I was wearing my seatbelt. And then all of a sudden, I only had bruises, I only had this. I mean, I know people that got really fucked up in a car accident and still were wearing their seatbelt, which means if they weren't wearing their seatbelt, they'd be dead. So at that point, it's a dual thing to me.
It absolutely is.
On the other news, just so that everybody is aware, I don't know if this is concerning or not. It happened about 16 minutes ago, but I have an update on my phone letting me know that there is lightning struck within 6 miles of my current location. So if I all of a sudden blink, or the transmission ends, or everything goes white, you'll know what happened. And,
what do you think? Do you think Chad's going to get fried? Over
the
under?
Shorts.
Oh, yeah? It's the shorts. You know, between his shorts and your no-sleeve shirt, this is just a whole different kind of show. That's all I'm saying.
Look at those guns, baby.
Look at those big fat fucking messes.
Huh. John G., I'm counting on you to be the sex bot on the show.
The what?
The sex bot. You're our pre-designated sexiness on the show.
Wow.
You have to be
Sexy red.
Yeah. I was listening to a comedy show last night. Humor.
But he said he was listening to a comedy show now. I'm like, really?
That too, but
Nobody is.
Thanks, man. No one's listening to us.
I was listening to Humor That Works. They had a comedy show last night.
Uh-huh.
So I was listening, and one of the freaking comedians looks and says, "Oh, look, we've got somebody who was around for the 1918 pandemic."
You do kind of have that look, John.
I'm like, thank you.
You left that group right away.
Yeah. You know what the nice part about Zoom is?
What?
It is, if you know that they're looking at you, you can fuck with them so much.
Oh, yeah.
Like somebody was talking to me, in a Zoom thing, and but I wasn't even doing it that much. I was doing it like that, just like, yeah, good, and just lower.
You know what I'm curious of?
What?
Like, if you're in a gallery view, and you are staring at somebody that's in gallery view with you, can somebody figure out that you're staring at them? Like,
I don't think so.
Does creepiness go through Zoom?
Here's what I will say about that.
Out in Zoom?
Here's what I'll say about that. For instance, when Candice was on, if you were leering at your screen, it would be pretty obvious who you were looking at.
Only probably John G and John R, because they got glasses. So we might see the reflection of who is...
Oh, yeah. That could actually happen.
Yeah.
All right, this is will actually blow your mind. So I've been spending so much time with the desktop, and it's not in the right spot on my desk. It's way too close to me, so my eyes been straining. So I wanted to go get a pair of glasses, So they're like, it's time. Let me get my eyes examined. I haven't had an eye exam in 14 years, so it's like I kind of need an eye exam. So I go and I'm trying to get one. Eye doctors are a non-essential business. They're not essential.
I thought you were going to tell me they do Zooms.
No, they're not essential.
Neither was dentists for a while.
Yeah, but magic shops are fine to open. I want people to.
You could have got the trick glasses that have the eyeballs that flip out.
All right, we're bringing in our next guest. Oh, people, the trick glasses with the eyeballs that fall out. That would be so bad on so many levels. Hey, Amanda, how you doing?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
Good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Alrighty.
The gang is all back.
Aw, yay.
Yay! So we have been talking today about the Turnpike Film Festival and so many things that are on it. And one of the big ones is the world premiere. You don't often get to say that. The world premiere of Mr. Beasley Presents. And we wanted to talk to you because you are the lead of Mr. Beasley Presents.
I'm Mr. Beasley.
Hello, Mr. Beasley.
Hello, Beasley.
It is a misleading title because Mr. Beasley is the supporting character. And your character, first of all, you've had a few months since we filmed it, and you've got some cognitive distance. Was your character crazy, or was it a real supernatural event?
Real supernatural event, definitely.
Real supernatural event?
Oh,
All right. Gentlemen, do we have votes from the gallery?
Only because you keep fucking mentioning Mr. Beasley outside. Or it would be the crazy bum keeps saying, "Oh, Beasley."
Yeah. The bum does also talk to Mr. Beasley.
The bum's a very important piece of the puzzle. The non-crazy puzzle.
Yeah, there are two people that can actually see Mr. Beasley. It's kind of like Snuffleupagus that way. There's only one or two people that can ever see Snuffleupagus. So Mr. Beasley is Snuffleupagus. There you go. We now have our first fan theory. So talk to us. Tell us about the role, what you liked about the character, what was difficult.
I loved her, probably because I relate to the experience so much in that I'm clinically insane. No, but I am definitely, I can relate to shotgunning cheese balls and lounging around my house in an odd assortment of clothing and being generally cantankerous about my situation. And one thing I really enjoy about, the character is she's basically just at the beginning super down on her luck, total victim, thinks the world is just kind of against her and has full on given up. And then through this sort of pesky little, basically sweet old man who doesn't want to give up and doesn't want to let her just sit and mope, she gets her power back in lots of fun ways, and that's a fun narrative.
Yeah. And you did such a great job with it, and when I saw the ending of it, between the work you did and the work Mike did in putting that edit together, you guys didn't need me. I was kind of a paperweight at that point.
It was your idea and your script, but whatever, you're right.
It's a paperweight. At a certain point, I became a paperweight. I have a really bad habit of having you act against non-human things. Mr. Beasley, so your scenes are filmed with you in a television.
It's because I'm just so hard to work with. No actor's willing to be in the same room as me. I know.
I will say with N&M, it's been easier since we don't have to be in the same room.
How dare you?
That's fine.
Them's fighting words.
Right.
Them's fighting words.
Next time I'm seeing you in person, you're getting hit in the face with a pie.
Well, that was going to happen anyway.
Okay, but now it's because of this, so I'm going to push extra hard.
Now you're going to hit me with the pie the way I hit you with the cake on the New Year's Eve sketch.
God, that was so intense. I can still feel it. I can still picture it coming at my face, the velocity.
The velocity. So, how difficult is it as an actor to actually have to have like deep emotional scenes with things that aren't living or not even there.
I mean, that's the thing is, you imbue whatever you need from the room at large, whether that's another actor, whether that's an object, whether that's, what's going to be sort of superimposed after the fact. And so it's playing pretend, but all of acting is playing pretend. It's all mental games. It's all, imagine if this is your scenario. So difficult, sure, but it's a similar exercise as acting with a human being, because you're listening and responding to the voices in your head. I'm not insane, maybe a little, but I repeat that. So I learn the lines of the other character.
Okay.
To the best of my ability, and then I listen to the response. And I had the same thing when we did Gail's New Boyfriend, especially when we were kind of dealing with the challenge of the person who was puppeteering was not the person who was voicing the lines off camera, and so it was there was this dissonance there. And at one point, I was like, let me just hear the lines in my head and puppeteer, because it was so hard for me to focus on hearing them and then matching his, and then so I ended up just reciting the lines in my head to myself as if I was the puppet to myself. It got very very intense.
Yeah, it was these were two of the weirdest productions that in my career I've been involved in, and considering some of the places I worked for, that's an amazing statement. But you also got to work with some fun people on both of those things. By the way, both of those things are in the Turnpike Film Festival. I think event number 5 is where
that is correct.
Mr. Beasley is.
Yep,
and where
in
is
the
Gail's
comments
new boyfriend?
sections. So for all those that are listening and watching and welcoming Amanda, she can be seen in the premiere of Mr. Beasley Presents, which is in the festival Turnpike Film Festival. She is in event number 5. And then you can also see her in the Turnpike Film Festival in the feature film Gail's New Boyfriend, which is in event number 4. So be sure to check that out. Probably better at this point just to get the all access pass, take advantage of the discount and seeing all the content.
Let me explain exactly why she's getting all access pass. Event number 1, she is in Bathing Beauty, the Pay in the Park, and other things. In event number 2, she's in N&M Letters from Quarantine. In event number 3, she's not in anything. Amanda, I don't know how that happened. Fire
How
agent.
dare you?
Event number 4, she's in Gail's New Boyfriend. Event number 5, Mr. Beasley Presents, and NMC's Quarantine Comedy Report. And nothing in 6. So you are in 4 out of the 6 events in 7 different things.
And just for the legal terms, if people are listening, if it was 6 out of 6, it would have been the Amanda Film Festival.
Yeah, that would but would it have been the Amanda Memorial Film Festival? That would have been,
because they would have killed me to make that much content. Yeah.
I think because you would have died, because you would have had exhaustion by that point.
Yeah, that's fair.
You are in all the things. Like, you're everywhere. Even in quarantine, I'm flipping through Facebook and, Amanda's going to be singing on this show, or she's going to be singing on that show.
I mean, to be fair, I've got a lot of, really motivated friends who continue to create and continue to make things. And so I'm lucky in that way, because I'm not my own, motivated self. I'm motivated. So quarantine for me has been just either like full tilt motivation or full tilt you're on the couch and not doing anything. That's kind of been my norm. Mike's nodding. You agree? Yeah. There's no in between.
Prior to this call, Mike was in the corner of the room sucking his thumb.
Yeah. My
thumb, yeah.
Yeah, it was a thumb. That's what
Right.
HR, call HR. Let's talk a little bit about your cast, because you in Mr. Weasley are in with Mario, who you're in every scene with, but you're in no scenes with.
Right.
Yeah.
He's whose voice I was hearing in my head.
Yes, he was the voice in your head. But you were also Chris Cavallano. Norlette is in it with you. Norlette Nickel. You were Robert kind of was in it with you.
Oh yeah.
Sheila was in it with you. So you had a nice cast.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
the dream.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's it? How much for somebody who's never done any acting, who might be watching, and if you've never done any acting and you're watching this, why are you watching this? Because I'm convinced the only people watching this are pretty much actors I've hired who are hoping that we'll hire them again when this ends.
Nice.
But But for somebody who's never done it, how do you adjust working with new actors all the time? Because there were another set of actors for other things you've done.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of repeat offenders with new media comedy.
Yeah.
So a lot of, I've gotten to work with a lot of these people before, and I hope to get to again. I mean, yeah, every actor's got a different energy, a different process, and it's always a little bit of a learning curve. I think for everybody involved, learning to work with the crew and, a director and, the material itself. But, fortunately in this business, there's a lot of really, really, one, talented, but two, super lovely to work with people. And this cast was absolutely no exception. I really enjoyed all of my one-on-one scenes with everybody, and then just the general sort of ambiance on the film. You can kind of feel it. There's this sweet individuality that everybody brings to it. Everybody had strong choices they made. Everybody had, some kind of flavor they injected into the ensemble. And especially because a lot of the work I did was solo, the way that it sort of came together as an ensemble piece is such a testament to the strength and charisma and choices of the actors I was in it with.
Now, I want to talk to you about this one in particular, because as we've worked together more and more and we get to know each other more and more, there's shortcuts that develop. For instance, when I called up and I'm like, all right, panda costume or dinosaur costume? There was that phone conversation, and then obviously.
And did I chose dinosaur because Chris was going to be in it?
Was that the reason why you chose dinosaur?
The reason. Chris is a big fan of the T-Rex.
Okay.
So I love a good panda, but yeah, it was a deliberate choice as a gentle nod to his propensity.
And so everyone knows who we're talking about. We're talking about Chris Catalano, who plays a role in this, who also played two roles in Gail's New Boyfriend. So
yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
He did the lion's share of that one.
Including the voice of said puppet, which it still creeps me out every time I hear it in such a wonderful way. But now that's something that's got to be fun and odd for you at the same time, because Chris is one of your closest friends.
Yes.
Yeah, and you've been cast with him a couple of times, and in both those roles, it's romantically cast, which has got to be a little bit of weirdness because you both have significant others as well. But I'm not saying weirdness in terms of, oh my God, they're hooking up. I'm talking, that couple chemistry that you guys have to do that has to be manufactured. But you're a different couple in Gail's New Boyfriend than you are in Mr. Beasley Presents. You had to bring different dynamics with the same actor. And that's what I mean by it had to be weird, because how hard is it to not fall into the same choices, in similar scenes, romantic scenes, 3 months before when we filmed Beasley, now 3 months later, these characters have to be totally different. And they have to have a unique voice for the same relationship.
I did find myself occasionally being tempted to slip into the patter that Chris and I sort of naturally share. And I do see what you mean. That being said, though, Chris Catalano, you're right, is one of my closest friends. So probably I've got some rose-colored glasses when it comes to analyzing his talent, but he's one of the most talented actors on the damn planet. And he, as a friend, we sort of play together. We play off each other. We're constantly, in different characters and improvising and playing and goofing off. And that's part of the nature of our friendship anyway, which lends itself to flirtatious encounters easily. And then when it comes to, romantic stuff, it can be awkward. It can be weird. but I trust him implicitly.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing where it was so easy for me to just slide right into that role and trust that he would be sliding right in, and we were able to, we were in our characters, we were in the world, so it was a different style of acting anyway, so it felt distinct enough.
Yeah, I just think audience members, like when you see, the people who've done numerous films together, and you see them playing the same types of roles over and over, there's that natural penchant for we're going to fall into exactly what worked last time and do it again. What I loved on this one was it was an exactly similar relationship, but two radically different characters, and you both came with new ideas. You both came with new, nuanced ideas, which was so important for me as a director, because I fully prepared in my night before notes. I'm there like, okay, tell him to stop doing the Gail's new boyfriend shit. That's literally one of the notes in my notebook. And then on set, I'm there like, oh, yeah, they've already beat me to that note. Looking good. That's one less thing I have to worry about. And I don't think the audience realizes that what we're asking people to do in new media comedy is actually more difficult for actors. You have to look at the same faces all the time and find new relationships every time, which means you have to really fold into the material, And luckily I'm getting to work with people like you and Chris and Mario, so that when I bring people back for 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, we're getting new stuff. We're getting, amazing stuff. Everyone's been 3 or 4 or 5. I think you've been 187. 187 productions. Yeah. It's definitely that if you count the N&M sketches. So
yes. Well, and if you do sketch comedy work, that's something that you do all the time. You play with the same people over and over again in different characters. I mean, you and I are a testament to that. If you look at the backlog of all of our sketches, we're constantly playing different people off of each other.
You've been my daughter, my friend, we've been married, we've been dating, we've been broken up, we've been
total strangers.
The
last people on earth.
Yeah.
I've been a dick to you multiple times.
I actually think at some point we turned it into therapy. Okay, Amanda's mad at me, she can channel it through this sketch. Which might have been why I hit you too hard with the pie that day. I'm not saying it is.
Listen, I get it. It's all right.
But when you look at that range and you look at what you've been doing, because how I found you was modeling, and then I saw you do parody shows where you're mostly singing, and now you're doing all these kind of things. What is it that you're most, when the world comes back in order, what are you most looking back to do, most looking forward to doing again?
Oh, man. I mean, I love it all. I think I like film better than theater at this point, which I am surprised by, but I think that's where I'm at. And I like acting better than singing. And I like comedy better than drama. So I think I'm looking forward to being funny on camera again.
Okay. Now, you left off writing because you wrote.
True. But writing is not on hold. Writing is not... No. Writing can still happen
if I'm taking what you said earlier about you're either super productive or you're a couch potato.
I've got lots of half-finished projects at the moment. Lots of open documents.
Okay, so you're being very kind with your time, but before you go, I'm going to go through a list of the stuff you've been in, and just pop out your most vivid memory on set from each of these.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
A little game.
It's going to take a few hours.
Yes, it is.
No, it's going to take about 4 minutes. The pain, the park, and other things.
Oh, I really enjoyed getting to frolic in the park and just be like my manic hippie dream girl self. It was very fun. There were
multiple parks.
Multiple parks, yes.
Yeah.
Although I'm thinking specifically of the first park, the one in Jersey that was it was just us, and so I was doing all these, I was barefoot and I was doing handstands and, spinning around, and my skirt was going, oh God, I love that. It was so fun. It felt so childish and free that I was acting.
Yeah, I will say this, that was, of all the shoots we've done, my least favorite shoot, because that day in the park was 3,000 degrees.
That's correct.
I felt like we performed in the sun. Bathing Beauty.
Who? Well, fun fact for all you listeners and viewers, I have pretty intense anxiety as a human being, and occasionally I have panic attacks. And I had a panic attack on set in Bathing Beauty. So if you go check it out and you see the panic in my eyes, that's real. And actually, that's for real. Yeah, that was a rough experience. I will say, just a huge testament to, you all as New Media Comedy, but, as my team in that moment, I could not have asked for a more kind and loving, supportive environment to have a massive panic attack in a bathing suit in a bathtub.
Yeah, and just to fill out the whole thing, there was also an incident with a real fucking knife in the middle of it.
There was no incident. There was a could be an incident that was quickly avoided.
Almost an incident.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So.
The favorite moment was getting finished with that panic attack. Actually, Jim, you and I had a really nice talk after that, and that would be my favorite moment.
Yeah, that was yeah.
That was
scared the hell out of me that day, young lady.
Sorry.
How about N&M Letters from Quarantine?
Oh.
Now that's a Zoom one.
Yeah,
that's
different. Let's see. I mean, I enjoyed that we barely rehearsed it. We barely did any, it was just, we kind of dove right into the goofiness and the style of it. And you sent me the idea and I went, oh yes, I know exactly what you're doing. I went raided my costume closet and found a slightly old-timey dress.
Yeah.
And it just felt easy. We just slotted right in.
I got to wear the old-timey hat, which for me was incredibly fun. All right, I still can't believe you're not in event number 3. There's something wrong there. Gail's new boyfriend.
Oh, God, a favorite moment?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think eating ice cream in the shower with my fingers, with my fist into the shower, and we having a picture taped up in the shower and crying on it. It's really fun.
Yeah. Duck Walk. That's still going to be it for me.
Duck Walk. I think that was the same day.
Was it?
Might have been. I don't know.
They bleed
it
into
all
each
blurs
other.
Together.
It all blurs together. All right, you've only got 30 more of these to go. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
Let me find the next one. Beasley. Favorite one on Beasley.
Beasley. God, I really enjoyed playing around with the cheese balls and just being fully. So, okay, this is something that is it's gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound bad. I am not often cast in roles where I get to be gross or just fully kind of out there, little to no makeup, messy. And and really very human, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's sometimes it happens, and in certain ways in each of these other projects we've mentioned, it's been there. But there's something very liberating about having just my face smeared with cheese dust, and just the sort of gluttony and indulgence, and letting my stomach exhale and be totally flabby and lounging on the couch and just being fucking done with life. That was really fun for me.
I think my favorite, and you will probably hate this moment,
okay.
But it was a long shooting day. Everyone was cranky.
Okay.
And one of the last shots, you're supposed to flash Mr. Beasley. So you Amanda's there just to be clear, I'm not really flashing, right? No, you're not really flashing. So there's no real flash. You guys could do it all in post, right? And I'm there yep, we're going to do it all in post. And we set up the camera, and you're in the moment, and you flash, and it was purely accidental. But we couldn't use the take because Marco went, whoa! Because she had made such a big deal of we're doing it in post. And just Marco's reaction on that to me was so hysterical.
Sorry about it. Sometimes I just get so into it.
Yeah. All right. So we tortured him on that one. NMC quarantine report.
Oh, I think I enjoyed the baby doll bit.
Yeah, the doll head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for anybody who's thinking of casting Amanda, one of the wonderful things is when we talk about some of these, cheese balls was her idea on set. When I said, "What do you want to play with?" She went, "Oh, cheese balls, get cheese balls." And the baby doll head was not written into the script. That was something that you came up with when you saw what I was doing. So, if you're looking for an actor that can actually bring ideas,
that can overstep her bounds.
It's not overstepping if we ask you. So, all right. So, what is the place where people can find out all things Amanda if they are looking to friendly stalk you artistically online, as opposed to the creepy stalking?
Yeah, please don't unfriendly stalk me. That's not cool. Let's see. You can find me at Amanda Nicholas on Facebook, Amanda L. Nicholas on Twitter, Amanda Nicholas on Instagram because the @ looks like an A, and I enjoyed that. And then amandanicholas.com. You can find me there. But also just follow these guys. NMC. I'm around.
She does pop up on our feed from time to time. Good. Amanda, we want to thank you not just for showing up today, but for all the great work you're doing in all these projects. And I hope so many people watch and you become so famous that we can't afford to work with you anymore.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. Thank you guys for all you do. It is nice to see all your lovely faces.
Good seeing you too. Enjoy the rest of your night, Amanda.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So she popped herself out before I could. Let's talk a little bit about, because we do have a lot of stuff that's in this festival and a lot of fun stuff that's in this festival. So taking out the two big ones, which is Beasley and Gail's new boyfriend, what's the one that you think that people should go see? Because I'm going to be selfish because, I know I'm often called the acting card, but I had so much fun filming Comedy Confessions with Reverend John that I just want people to go see that because that pilot is on there. So what about you guys? What do you want people to go see of our stuff on this festival? John, you want to go next? John G?
Can I be biased?
Yeah, I just was.
Of course I was going to say Comedy Confessions. Come on now.
Yeah.
No, I hope people watch the Comedy Confessions and they like it and everything.
Yep.
You want to know of our stuff, or you want to know of?
Well, it could be other stuff too if you want to mention that.
I mean, I absolutely think, Robert was talking about it before. That one, the Garage.
Garage, yeah.
That if you don't watch anything else, you should watch the Garage. But you should watch everything. But that was definitely. It was a thing, especially for somebody like me. Like he was talking about my dad and my relationship with my dad.
Check.
That's the thing I really see the most.
I hear you, Mike.
You're American.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I think people should watch Gail's new boyfriend. I mean, I'm in it too, so it's there. And I make some stupid faces, and I eat a lot of Italian food, but
Yeah.
Part of the contract.
Yeah.
What?
That was part of the contract.
That's part of the contract. I had to have good Italian food.
I also think if we're going to just recommend, films from the festival that maybe we didn't have a hand in producing, The Garage, definitely. Naked Ambition from Candice, definitely. But I'd also say, Greenpoint Tavern is something that people should definitely watch.
If you're anywhere in any remote touch with 9/11, 9/11 thing that happened, Greenpoint Tavern.
You have to see it.
For you.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael?
I want to see Sloppy. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Sloppy is a lot of fun. You'll have a lot of fun watching Sloppy. John R?
It's J Riggs to you, sir.
J Riggs? All right. J Rigatoni?
Rigatoni over here. Forget about it. Possibly the NMC Quarantine Comedy Report, because I think it's very of the now. It kind of is a reflection of how we all are and all feeling. And, there's quite a few quarantine themed, I should say, projects, which is fitting. But yeah, I definitely like the NMC Quarantine Comedy Report.
All right. So we got about 10 more minutes before we have to give the airwaves back to WBLZ.
Quick interruption.
What's that?
Quick interruption. I sent the last 2 episodes over to John just now.
And I see it, and I have them. Which is so weird why you could send me 2 files in one email that were both higher.
Oh, I made my own.
What do you mean?
I made my own hightail, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You did like a one or something like that.
I will talk offline about that, because I don't
His
know why.
high tail's bigger than your high tail.
What the hell, man?
Was it a paid hightail?
Yeah.
Mine's a paid hightail, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
They both have different tiers.
I see your hightail is bigger than mine.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice low tail.
He has a low-hanging high tail, is what he's saying.
What's that? You got a camel toe? What's that?
So we're gonna get to see Comedy Confessions soon on Amazon Prime, is what you're saying. All right.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Big things coming out for New Media Comedy Worldwide. We've got Comedy Confessions with Reverend John coming out. We have the Breaking Curfew, as well as I'm Not Urban, I'm Urbane by Leanne Lord. Another great comedy special. Going to be available very soon on Amazon Prime, so go to check it out. And make sure everybody is checking out the Turnpike Film Festival. Link is in just below our names. Let's add his name on that. Just below our screens, you'll see the website is www.turnpikefilmfestival.com. Be sure to go there. The link is also in the comments section, as well as a list of the films that you should be checking out. I mean, you should check out all the films, but here are some films that we personally have entered, as well as brought on some guests that were filmmakers that were participating in the film festival. But yes, if you go to the turnpikefilmfestival.com, you will see the 6 events. And Jim, please remind me what the total running in terms of hours is of this content.
18 hours. Robert says 18.
Hours.
My math had it closer to 20, but he says 18.
I was told there'd be no math. But it's 18 hours of content. It is well worth it. You need to check it out. Go to Zerb, go to turnpikefilmfestival.com, check it out, watch our stuff.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch it. So our podcast is called the Everything Podcast. So it's been a week, and I'm springing this on you guys to wrap this up. Who do you guys want to say fuck you to? Like this whole week, if you could say fuck you to anybody, who would it be? Anyone want to jump in and go first?
It's a very long list.
That police officer right now. And you know I'm pro-police.
Oh, the police officer in Minneapolis?
Yeah. I know so many police officers that I'm friends, family with. There ain't nobody on that guy's side.
No.
Every single one of them know that as an isolated incident, just him alone, dude, you done fucked up, man. What the hell were you thinking? So I know what you were thinking. You literally were out to murder somebody, so that's it.
Yeah. So we got a police officer. What about you, John G? Is somebody you want to say fuck you to this week?
Yeah. I want to say fuck you to myself.
To yourself?
To myself.
Why?
This is a big John G fuck you. Huh?
Why is that?
Because I wasn't born into a rich family, and I have to work for a living, and I hate being alone, and I don't know. I could give you 1,000 reasons why. Fuck you, John G.
Wow. So what you're saying is your entire existence can be made better by a winning lottery ticket and a hooker. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't go forward. Well, maybe. I know. Yeah,
It'd be like $50.
I don't need the lottery ticket. Maybe just the guy.
come on, you know.
Don't you? We just announced that your TV show is done.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good thing, but that doesn't against me. That's, you know.
You didn't say fuck Reverend Joe.
I don't know. You know, I'm just not mad at the world. I'm not mad enough at the world right now.
You're just mad at yourself.
I'm just mad at myself. Yeah.
Wow. That's a big fuck you. That's a hard one. That is definitely a hard one. I think you know what? I'm actually gonna go Trump. I don't think anybody here is surprised.
Don't put it on Twitter.
That's a surprise, Jim.
Yeah. Because of repealing. He wants to repeal Section 230 of the Internet Act, which is, all right. You think it's wrong that for those of you that don't understand it, just boilerplate. He basically wants to say if somebody puts hate speech on Twitter, you could sue Twitter as opposed to suing the person who published it, the platform instead of the individual user. And we're the only country in the world that gives protections to the platforms. We give protections to platforms because we understand it's an extension of news and an extension of free speech. But he's saying if they're going to put any limitations on, then they should have those exemptions removed. Okay, so that means you thought it was wrong that those extensions existed when they weren't putting notices on your tweets. But now that they are, you're doing it.
I think I have this backwards.
Yeah.
Explain this now. He
Okay.
wants to make it so they can be liable.
Yes, he wants to make it so if you were on Twitter and you said Donald Trump is a douchebag, or more correctly, if I were on Twitter and I said Donald Trump is a douchebag, Donald Trump wants to be able to sue not only me, but also Twitter. Currently, the law says you can sue me for defamation, but you can't sue Twitter for defamation, even though Twitter's the platform that put it out.
Accountable.
Yeah.
So I get to sue him and Twitter for inciting violence?
Well, I'm hoping that somebody uses this exemption. If the exemption goes through, I want people to use it against him.
Mm-hmm.
But all these things to say, I'm okay. I really am okay with people having differing political views. I'm even okay with people being racist, sexist, and homophobic. I really am. If that's how you were raised, if that's who you are, I'm not going to associate with you. I think you're an asshole. But you know what? I ain't got to live your life. Go do it. I'm not comfortable with people inflicting it on other people or people that are hypocrites. And to spend his entire career, on Twitter, basically hiding behind Section 230, and then the first time you get a slap on the wrist, you're going to call for the end of 230. You're a hypocrite.
Are you really surprised, though? I mean, that's been his MO the entire time. That as long as everything that he does, it's fine. But the minute you do the same thing, but it comes back to him in a negative way, or he has to take responsibility or accountability, that's the minute he turns face.
But I'm tired. I'm tired of hypocritical little bitches. That's what I'm tired about. So it is 2 minutes left. So just going down the line, let's plug everything we need to plug, and let's say goodnight to people. I'll start first. Turnpike Film Festival running now through the 10th of June, which is turnpikefilmfestival.com. Every Friday on New Media Comedy, you can catch New Media Comedy's Instagram. You can catch our latest Instagram video, or you can watch it on YouTube. If you happen to be on YouTube, in fact, we prefer if you watched it on YouTube. But also on YouTube every Monday, I have a series called The Comedy Legacy Show. Episode 1 dropped this past Monday with Tom Dreesen. Episode 2 is this Monday, and it will feature Rick Overton. So that's the ginormous bunch of stuff I'm plugging. Mike Langen, what are you plugging?
It's this Tuesday, June 2nd at 11:30 a.m. at Holterman's Bakery on Staten Island, 405 Arthur Kill Road. Langen's Patty is doing a pop-up.
All right.
I'm gonna start trying to cook again, get into the summer groove. But this is
So-
the first one of the year.
So if I go there, you're gonna hook me up a free cheeseburger?
Sure, yeah. Get there.
Yeah. I can take the busted ass blue car and get there. John G, what do you need to plug?
The busted ass blue car.
Yeah. It's a busted ass blue car.
You just gave him another FU to himself.
Yeah. What are you plugging?
Well, again, do the Turnpike Film Festival. That's awesome.
What event is Comedy Confessions going to be on?
I don't know, actually. Do you know what event John Comedy Confessions is on?
I most certainly do. So, for all of those that are listening to all our famous plugs, here we go. We're going to start at the top. From the top, here we go. Everybody, go check out the Turnpike the Turnpike Film Festival.
Woo!
www.turnpikefilmfestival.com. You need to go watch Gail's New Boyfriend in event number 4, Beauty the Pain in the Park, as well as N&M Letters from Quarantine in event number 2. Then you need to go and check out John G in the Comedy Confessions with Reverend John in event number 2. And as well as Mr. Beasley Presents, which is the world premiere for Mr. Beasley Presents, and that is in event number 5. Also check out Naked Ambition, which is the film from one of our guests, Candice, is in the film festival event number 1. And then if you go to the www.turnpikefilmfestival.com, you will see all of the other films that our wonderful filmmakers are in. Our director, Robert, who was on earlier today, is on a few of the films as well. Check out Comedy Legacy Series, as Jim had mentioned. Rick Overton is the next guest, appearing Monday, June 1st at 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Only on YouTube.
Can I also put down another plug for Sunday night, the 31st?
Sure. Yes.
Lara Staragors, who does a lot of stuff for us, will be singing 2 songs
Yes.
on the Sunday Funnies. So if you write to one of us and ask us for tickets to Sunday Funnies, we can get you tickets.
Absolutely. And as always, please send us your thoughts, your comments, join our mailing list, and email us at info@nmcworldwide.com.
Guys, from all of us here to all of you guys, just fuck everything. Just live your life. Have fun. We will pop up again sometime next week to ruin your week again. All right? Goodbye, everybody.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.